Welcome to the Pop-Up Research Station, where we have conversations that explore temporary public art, the Storefront Art Movement, creative placemaking, and cultural urban planning. I am your host, Liza Simone, founder and director of Phantom Galleries LA, an organization that takes vacant storefronts in Los Angeles and turns them into temporary art galleries since 2005. Today's guest is Pop-Up Research Station co-founder Alpha Bruton. Alpha is an internationally exhibited painter and installation artist. Alpha's art synthesizes aspects of theater, sculpture, and other two-dimensional forms using multimedia approaches to communicate with the public. Alpha is the chief curator for the Phantom Gallery Chicago Network, a network of curators that exhibit in alternative exhibition spaces. Alpha is here today to share her vision for the Pop-Up Research Station and to let our generous listeners know how to support her in making this project possible. Hi, Alpha. Welcome to the program.
Hi, Liza. Thank you for hosting me.
Alpha, what is your vision for the Pop-Up Research Station?
Liza, I envision the Pop-Up Research Station as a portal for shared knowledge, a resource of best practices, ongoing discussion, professional development, and a place for moral support. I also envision it as a place to engage artists as curators in creative conversation about projects they have executed in the public sphere, in alternative exhibition spaces, and have created projects that engage community responses.
Can you share with us what motivated you to launch such a project?
I've been involved with pop-up galleries since the early 90s, hosting pop-up galleries in various locations with artists in Northern California, here in Chicago, and internationally in Berlin. I found that no matter what community I've approached with the concept of pop-up, our commonalities and narratives about our experiences are the same. Each narrative is informative and need to be recorded as our legacy in creative placemaking.
Alpha, can you tell me what the Pop-Up Research Station looks like in its current form and what it might look like in the future once you have the funding that you need?
Well, the Pop-Up Research Station is still in beta. For the first 5 months, we've been hosting a podcast on GYST Radio. We have interviewed like 12 projects around the United States. The podcast is just one of the tools that we'll be using to collect data. And once we have funding in place, we plan on building an interactive website where we will host panel discussions and online summit.
Alpha, who is this project meant to help?
The data we collect will be shared with artists, art educators, cultural planners, economic development agencies, program planners in rural communities, state art councils, city municipalities, and other researchers from the field.
What will the funds raised by Hatch Fund be used for?
The funds will be used to underwrite our pre-summit and post-summit planning. It will help with panel discussions, our speaker fees, our online interaction, interactive website, our promotional materials, and our investigators' expenses.
And Alpha, if the funding goal is surpassed, what other great things might you be able to do?
That's a great question, Liza. We've been talking about putting together a grant system to give funding to emerging projects that need assistance with direct sponsorship funding.
It sounds like this project will help so many artists and communities alike, and I sincerely hope that our listeners will be inspired to make a contribution and make this project possible.
Yes, I'd like to thank each and every one of you in advance for your generous contribution. Pop-Up Research Station is an artist-driven project and needs your support to make it happen. No contribution is too small or large. All contributions are tax-deductible.
And Alpha, you mentioned earlier that there are some great perks on the page. Would you like to mention one of your favorite ones?
One of my favorite ones is I have an original copper plate that I created 27 years ago when I was an undergraduate, and I will be making only 20 limited edition of those plates for our $100 donors. And the one perk that I'm really excited about is the artist dinner, and we're going to stage that in a pop-up gallery, and those for our $1,000 donors.
You know, I just want to say, Alpha, you're already such a great example of someone who creates effective support systems for artists like yourself. And I do believe that this project is the perfect place to share your legacy and exponentially help others create successful community-based projects. I'm grateful to be a part of the Pop-Up Research Station. To all our great listeners, please consider making a contribution. Please forward this Hatch Fund page widely to anyone who you think might be interested, and please post on social media to help get the word out. Alpha, any last words?
Seriously and sincerely, this project cannot happen without your support. And I want to thank you all in advance for your donation.
Thanks, everyone, for listening to our latest edition of the Pop-Up Research Station. We're so grateful for your time and your generosity. Thank you. For more information, please visit popupresearchstation.com.